Hey guys, welcome back to Reignited. Now we're going to be doing something just a little bit different in this video. I'm actually responding to a video called Don't Be Unique by Gears and Gasoline. Now if you haven't seen Gears and Gasoline before, they are a tremendous channel. Their production value is absolutely through the roof. Beautiful videos that they make, and I really enjoy a lot of their content. And this is not a video where I'm bashing them or coming back at them, anything like that. This is merely a video of me explaining my side of the equation. So again, they came out with this video called Don't Be Unique, and essentially his point was with that video that if you're building cars simply just to be unique and maybe get views, get clicks, things like that, then you could actually be harming yourself because you could end up with a vehicle that doesn't actually work very well as a vehicle. And if you'd have just stuck with doing something a bit more genuine to yourself, just go with some nice simple mods that make the car more effective, you'll actually enjoy it a lot more and have a lot more fun. So again, I completely understand where he's coming from with that video, but I've got to explain my side of the story. Now, I think we all kind of understand what kind of vehicles he's actually talking about here. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking B is for Build, their wide-bodied 67 fastback Mustang. It's actually a custom chassis mid-engine LS vehicle underneath. He's also got a Jump-A-Con, a Lamborghini Huracan that he jumps off-road, powered by an LS twin turbo. And oh wait, that's the Burnt-A-Con, that's the LS twin turbo. I think the Jump-A-Con might be just a regular LS, but regardless, still absolutely ridiculous vehicle. You got Weston Champlin with his 12-valve Cummins-powered Mustang, Amelia Hartford with her big block, gigantic supercharger Mustang, basically any vehicle on the Cletus McFarland channel, and also Grind Hard Plumbing is a great example. I consider those vehicles as well. Now, something that all of these vehicles have in common is that they don't have a purpose. There's no point to them. And I am 100% okay with that because that has always been my identity as well. If you think back to when you were a kid and you were getting Hot Wheels at the store, I don't know if Hot Wheels are still a thing or not, but if you get the Hot Wheels at the store, did you look at one and say, that's a really nice, sensible Toyota Camry right there. I think that's the one that I want to get. No, you wanted to get the most outrageous one you could, or just something that looked really sleek and unique and different, right? That's all this is. We're adults now, and we have the ability to create our own Hot Wheels cars, and that's what we're trying to do. And I think you could argue as well that these people are being genuine to themselves when they build these vehicles. Now, granted, there is an element to it that says, hey, if I build something ridiculous, it's going to get clicks, it's going to get views. And I guess you could probably apply that to myself as well with some of the stuff that I build. You know, you've got a twin charge Magnum here. Is there really a point to that? Not really. You've got the Scat Pack Neon over here where I'm trying to put a Hellcat basically engine inside a Dodge Neon. Do I hope that gets some clicks and some views? Absolutely, but that's not why I'm doing it. The truth is, I'd be building these cars regardless. And in fact, I was building stuff like this before YouTube was a thing. While I was growing up, all my brothers and sisters, they had the 5.0 Fox body Mustangs. I wanted to be different, and that's why I ended up getting the Dodge Neon. Now back in 2005, I want to say, I ended up building a supercharger system for that Dodge Neon. It was a Root style supercharger, and as far as I know, it was the first and maybe only Root style supercharger that they ever did on one of those first gen Neons. Again, not a point to it, I just wanted to do something different, and I thought it was a really cool vehicle when it was all done. Now next up, I got really into the motorcycle side of things, and I built my first one-off motorcycle. It was a chopper, but I built it with an air system in it so that there was no kickstand. It just sat down flat on the frame. Had that big wide rear tire on there. And back down we go. Now next, I decided to take that exact same motorcycle, chop it all up, and rebuild it into a street tracker design, but I kept a big rear tire because I had never seen a street tracker with a big giant rear tire on there. So I thought that would be a nice combination as well. Now next, with the motorcycle thing, I ended up building a full entire custom framed XS650, basically an old parallel twin Yamaha engine that was originally carbureted, and I changed the engine to fuel injection and I turbocharged it. That was a pretty ridiculous build on its own. System, Megasquirt version 2, actually Megasquirt 2 version 3.0. I'm running MS Extra code on it.
Everything worked out really well. I built it myself, and everything checked out, and it's working like a champ so far, so I've been really, really pleased with that. Also, I got everything hooked up to the laptop here. So, turn on the Mega Squirt. Fuel pump cycles. Take a look at all the screen here. You got your RPM, throttle position, pulse width, engine coolant temp, ignition, fuel load. It's your map sensor reading, air fuel ratio, and your manifold air temp. So let's crank it over and see what happens.
Then getting back in the cars, I had a 1942 Chevy 1.5 ton pickup truck that I chopped 6 feet out of it to make it like a half-ton style size, but I kept the giant wheels and tires from the 1.5 ton because I thought that look was great. I had a big block Chevy in there, 4-link the rear end, custom front suspension on this thing. It was airbagged, so that was something a little bit unique as well. And then obviously leading into my Chevy C10 square body with a 392 power plant, definitely a little bit unique. We've got the twin charge Magnum now, and of course the Neon coming up that'll be Hellcat powered. So all these vehicles are ones that I would have built regardless because that sort of thing just entertains me. Now, why do I bring up all of these builds? Is it because I'm trying to show off to you guys or show you guys what I have or anything? No, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm just trying to show you that building vehicles that have a weird twist to them is my identity. It's absolutely ingrained into me. So when I hear the idea of don't be unique, that actually just kind of rubs me the wrong way because that's literally who I am, and that is my place within the car culture. So I think that's an important conversation that we can have here is, what is your place within the car culture? And then don't be ashamed of that, whatever that may be. Now, I do agree that we absolutely shouldn't be building vehicles to be chasing views, chasing clicks, or anything that's not authentic to yourself. In fact, an interesting thing is, I believe that my own personal channel would probably be about 5 times bigger than it is if I had just stuck with doing more basic bolt-on style builds that all of you guys can do in your garage. That would generate a lot more interest, a lot more traffic, and the channel would be much bigger as a result. The problem is, I have literally no interest in doing builds like that. They do nothing for me. I'm not excited about that at all. This I'm excited about. This is something that really gets me going, gets my creative juices flowing. I love being a problem solver. I love being able to figure out how to make things work. And so that's why I do what I do. So the reason I chafe against this idea of don't be unique is because I know that there are so many guys who are younger, who are just like me when I was at their age, thinking, man, I know it would be smarter maybe if I did this other modification and just kept it more safe, but I really want to try this other thing instead that could potentially make my car worse, but it'd be a whole lot more fun. There's so many different aspects of the car culture, and to me, there's so many guys who the actual driving of their vehicle is the enjoyment they get out of it. And for people like that, I absolutely recommend do the mods that make the most sense to get the most out of your driving. Myself personally, as I'm sure you guys can tell, I enjoy the build process more than anything else. That is where my passion comes in for the car culture. So if I want to do something that's completely off the wall, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because that to me is fun. And isn't that why we're all a part of the car scene? It's because we're trying to keep things fun and interesting. So that is my exhortation to you. Whatever side of the car culture you're on, chase that, pursue that. As he said in the video, be genuine to yourself and you're going to continue to have that fun. Now, another note, on the side of making your car potentially worse by doing your mods, one of the main things he mentioned in his video is that he went so crazy with modifications on his Ford Escort car that he had that it's ridiculously overpowered and is actually kind of a terrible car. I still argue that doesn't make it a bad car. One, because of all the experience he gained when he was actually building the car, but for two, it is still a unique build and something you don't often see. A 300 horsepower Ford Escort is not something you're going to see on every corner. I'd argue that's worth building it just for that reason. There's also those people who say functionality over form. Like if it doesn't make my car actually better, then I'm not going to put it on my car. First of all, you're wrong, because basically every modification you do from your car from stock, it does make it better in one aspect, but it compromises an aspect on another side. So you're not technically making it better overall by installing this new part. I just want to make that clear to a lot of guys. When engineers build these cars, they design them to be used in their original function, and everything works really well if you don't mess around with them. The moment you change even one thing, you can compromise so many other aspects of the vehicle. So yes, it may be faster, but now you've wrecked the suspension, or you've changed the comfort quality of it, like all of those things. So just so you're clear, you can't just put on stuff that only makes a vehicle better. Hey guys, Sky from the future here. Now, ironically enough, since I filmed that last clip, Gears and Gasoline have released another video entitled Don't Mod Your Car, explaining in further detail exactly what I'm talking about. Suffice it to say, if you truly understand cars, you know that what I'm saying is true. Now, on the flip side of that coin, I have always been very clear that I don't really care if I'm compromising a vehicle with the changes that I'm making to it. Now, obviously, I want there to be some functionality there too, but primarily, there's a concept in my head that I'm trying to reach. And if I'd have to compromise certain aspects of the car to do that, I am 100% willing to do so. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can or can't do with your cars. So to close things out, guys, I absolutely want to encourage you to be unique. If that is your identity and that's something that you really are passionate about, 100% chase that, fulfill that. Obviously, we don't want to be doing things just for the attention of others and things like that. But if this is who you are, 100% do it. We'll see you guys next time on Reignited.